Well, hey, George, Ted Johnson, Happy New Year to you and your bride. I hope 2015 turns out to be the year that you're expecting it to. Whether you are still wanting to sell the lodge, I hope you get top dollar out of it and go and do what you want to do, or however this year takes you. So anyway, hey, I was preparing a presentation for another prospective client the other day, and I was going through it, and I thought, George might benefit from looking at this, and so thought I'd record it real quick. It'll probably take 10 to 12 minutes to go through, but anyway, I thought it might be interesting to you. Again, my background has been in business and in the sporting industry, financial services. I've been a certified business consultant for a number of years, started 3 now online businesses, and I'm an expert, I think, in online and offline and now mobile marketing, which I've been doing for the last 3 years in various modes and niches. I know what works and doesn't work, and I've got a vast knowledge of that, but I'm old enough to know that I don't know everything, and I learn on a daily basis like everybody else. But I have quite an encyclopedia of reference material and just knowledge that I rely on to help you guys, as in the fishing industry, build your businesses. And I also have a love to fish. Like I said, I've fished up in your area a couple different times and just love that part of the world. Basically, when it comes to online marketing, there's been 3 basic stages to it. When websites started to first be on the market, there was no indexing companies such as Google, Yahoo, Bing, and that sort of thing. If you had a website, you paid tens of thousands of dollars for it. You had instant credibility, and people would do business with you just because you had a really cool website and place to go look. And then Google came around and set up a way to index these sites and a way to reference them, and all of a sudden that leveled the playing field because the cost of websites went down, and if you ran a small company or a large company, same with lodges, small lodge, large lodge, you could get the same exposure. And now the direction has gone more on a mobile basis, and just because of all the mobile devices that everybody is carrying right now. In fact, mobile devices resulted in 69% of all internet searches last month, and that number is continuing to rise. At the beginning of 2014, it was about 50%. I've been spending some time in airports over the last few days, and holy smokes, it's been amazing how many people will sit down even as a group and start typing into their mobile device and doing searches and doing all the things that they're doing. So this isn't a fad. It's just something that we're going through as now an industry. And what your potential customers see when they go to your website is actually okay. Most guides and lodges, their websites don't format very well on a mobile device. Yours, it does format and scale down, but it kind of reduces in size. You can barely read anything. It's hard to get through the links, but at least it's formatted okay. The problem with websites, probably as you know, in a marketing environment, is that when somebody goes to your website and is not compelled enough to call you or fill out a contact form, you have no idea who that person is. Now, you can go to Google Analytics and find out that somebody from Lexington, Kentucky on the 5th of January visited the site, but there's no way to reach out to that person and say, hey, wait, you may not have seen this, or we do these types of things differently. That is kind of a lost soul unless they come back to the site and, again, are compelled enough to give you a call and or fill out some sort of contact form. What we do as a company, as you know, is we develop mobile applications, and I put up an idea of a mobile application based on some past customers that we've been dealing with, lodges and that sort of thing, based on the information that's on your site. And so on the left-hand side is how your site actually looks on my iOS device, my Apple device, and then I took a photo off of your website and I created a small little logo looking thing, and I put it up there real quick, and I skinned it with what the mobile application possibly could look like. It's a little different experience. You're not scrolling through things, you're not searching for things. Everything is what they call thumb friendly. It's all on one screen, and it's very diverse and deep in regards to what it does. The advantages of having an app versus the advantages of just having your site look okay on a mobile device is that you can go back, oh, I misspelled a word, I'm going to fix that. You can go back and communicate with those who have downloaded the application because you have expressed permission to do that just because they have the app now on their phone. Now, granted, you're going to be selling your business, but if you can go to a potential buyer and say at the end of this year or the end of the spring, I've got 250, I've got 500 people, I've got 1,000 people, whatever that number is, with their app downloaded on their phone, I can instantly reach out to those people and give them a marketing message, give them a phishing report. That becomes extremely powerful because you're providing them not only with the facilities, but a way to market the facilities. The screen formatting, as we talked about, is more user-friendly. It takes advantage of the phone functions such as the GPS locator and some of the other links to social media and that sort of thing. And if the app is designed right, people will go back to it over and over and over again. Some of the other things it utilizes both short-term and long-term marketing tactics. You can come to the app and you can send out that marketing message that says, hey, I've got spots available the second week in August, but we're starting to fill up. Please contact us now. And that might be enough enticement for a number of people out there to give you a call when they get that marketing message that comes across. And then you can also build those long-term marketing tactics by just creating conversations, giving people phishing reports, giving them more information through this messaging system and through the app. It provides you with another way to build and nurture this potential guest list. It can also grow virally. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of the app, there's a share button in white. That share button is extremely powerful because if I like the app, I can hit the share button. I can then hit the Facebook button that comes up right behind that, and then this application is shared with everybody that I know on Facebook. And in fact, even Guides and Lodges now are rewarding people for doing that because their app then can be recommended to 500 people at a whack, maybe even longer than that, or more people than that. I'm sorry. And I'll hit this again. If the app is designed right, people will go back to it over and over and over again and again. For the marketing of your business and bringing in the right client that's going to pick it up, having a database and a system of recontacting people is going to be very, very important, and that's what we can offer. It's different than a website. You have to have different types of tools on the app. Oh, there's one of the guys that we're working with right now. And it's different. It's different than a website. Forgive me. That's one of the potential customers that we're working with. He isn't a customer yet on that last screen. It's different than a website because you've got to make this a gift to people. You got to give them something other than just a marketing message on their phone that they'll look at once or twice and go, nope, I don't think I'm going to visit you. You have to give them some tools, and that's what we provide as a company. We're good at providing fisherman tools on an application so they'll go back to your app over and over again. So some of the things that we have built into it automatically are marketing components for you. It's like book a trip. If you hit the book a trip function, you go in and fill out a form, and then that form is not only emailed, but it's texted to you. There's a photo gallery there, and you can then upload photos of people that have been fishing with you. That's available on the phone. There's rates that we put in for you, just much like what's on your website, the call us button and the share us button. But some of the other things that we put into the application, such as a fish identifier, what we fish for. We have built into it all the different types of species of salmon that you guys fish for, both in kind of the, when they're chrome and when they're spawning, and different descriptions for those fish. We put in a tremendous amount of rockfish and saltwater fish and freshwater fish. And so people can use this even when they're fishing the lower 48 and they pick up something that go, gosh, what is this? Well, they can go back to the application and they can look it up, and it's right on their phone. We also put in up-to-date fishing synopsis. In the state of Alaska, you'll never have to go out and buy a synopsis again or go online to find it. It's all on that phone. and we can even put in Oregon and Washington, like we've done with some other people that wanted those other states on the phone also. So you never have to go back out and get a synopsis again. Everything is up to date. We've developed in what we call a fish weight calculator that works with salmon, steelhead, and trout, and you can take the length of the fish, the girth of the fish, and then it calculates out a weight for that fish, and then that information can be attached to a photo and a GPS location of where you caught the fish, whether it's up on your part of the world or in the lower 48. You'll know exactly where you caught that fish and when. That information that is either emailed to you or emailed to you and your buddy for bragging rights. It's really kind of cool the way it works. And again, it's just giving people reason not to get rid of your application. And then, of course, the fishing reports. These are fishing reports that you do or we do for you based on the fishing activity in your area in a particular week for building up that constant communication with potential guests. Some of the special functions that we build in, just a little screenshots of them. The second screen over, this is the fish identifier. It gives you an idea of what it looks like. If you click on one of those, it goes into a larger picture of the fish and then a description. This is the what our clients say, I believe. And no, this is a fishing report. And so these are fishing reports that are categorized and stored for perpetuity on the phone. This is a picture of the Oregon fishing synopsis that comes up. They're stored in PDF format, and again, we update those as they come out. If somebody's doing any fishing for halibut, we put in a length weight chart for halibut fishing. I'm even doing some razor clam tide tables for a guide on the Kenai because he does a lot of guiding of razor clam trips, which is interesting. Here's a book a trip form that we fill out, and again, this is customized to your particular lodge, Blueberry Island, and so all of this would be skinned with your colors and your look. Here is what others say that's tied directly in not only to the system but into the people's Facebook account. Here's a submit a photo. People get back to the lodge and they go, "Hey George, look what I caught." And you go, "Holy smokes, I'd love that photo." And many times they'll tell you, "Well, we'll send it to you," and you never get it. Well, on the application, you simply can go there. It'll bring up the last few photos or number of photos that have been taken on their camera roll, and they can submit it to you right then and there, and it automatically emails to you. It's really pretty cool. This is a Meet Me function or Around Us function. You can put in pins of fishing spots or towns or other resources into that phone that people can use around your place or while they're looking and looking at that area. It's all tied into Google Maps, and we have pictures and descriptions of where you want to put in geolocators and that sort of thing. So it's really pretty cool. And then here's the fish weight calculator where you put in the length and the girth and the weight and that sort of thing. And again, that works out pretty well. But the push message is really what this thing is all about because we need to create some sort of communication with people. So I've got 4 different phones here running 4 different applications. On the left-hand side is a guy that was using the phone to look at Hotline Guide Service app that we did for them. And when he was in there, this push message came through. It said, "Hey, Hotline Fishing, we're killing them on the Columbia. We have spots available next week. Give us a call." The next guy was looking at football reports, college football, which is almost over. Go Ducks! I'm from Eugene, so I got to throw that in. And this push message came across on top of his phone. The next guy was looking at his text messages. The push message came across, and then here was an idle phone. Because they're push messages, because they're not text nor are they emails, these messages come over the top of almost anything that's going on. It alerts the operator of the phone that there's a message there. It shows the message on the screen, and so there's almost 100% readership of these messages when they come in, which is extremely powerful. And again, going back to a potential buyer of your lodge and saying, "Hey, I've got 400 people that I have access to send a message to that are fishermen that will read the message," is extremely powerful and will work real well for them. Every app is custom. There may be a couple there that you may recognize, a couple that you may not, but these are lodges and or guides that we've been working with just recently, and you'll note that every single one of them has some very unique components, pictures, or how they're laid out. We also help you market it because of your need to build up a database and work with building this up as an asset. I have the trade show package that not only will provide you with some of the information that's here. We build out QR codes that you can put on your collateral with the signage and table signs and business cards, but then we also tie it in directly into a newsletter database, and then we set that up and manage that for you. And I'll continue to offer that at its unpublished price now to you, just because you, as in the situation that you're in, that would help you a lot. The price hasn't changed at all. It's just we're giving you more functionality. Basically, those packages are in the $997 range, and I'd love to work with you. You seem like a really great guy. It looks like you and I probably grew up in the same era together, so yeah, I think it'd be a joy to work with you and help you do what you need to do. So anyway, hope you have a great week. Let's talk as this week goes on. Talk to you later. Bye now.